morning, everyone. So there was a couple of things that I didn't state in the last video on the Barndominium that we're building. This is going to be a 32 by 40. It's going to be 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big pantry to store all the food that I keep canning up. Yeah, if you have any questions, just ask. I don't know everything that you guys want to know, but today we're going to try to make the rebar cages that are going to go in these holes. We're just going to build cages for the piers that are 2 to 3 feet above ground, and then the shorter ones I think these ones up here, I think anything that's under 2 feet above ground, which would be all of this end here, I think I'm just going to cut pieces of rebar, and after we pour the concrete, stick the rebar down in there. Just because I think it's going to be pretty hard to make these cages. I mean, we'll see, but I think it'll work just as well just to cut pieces of rebar and put them down in there. The one thing we do want to be sure of is that when we build the cages, it doesn't get in the way of the rebar legs on our sturdy wall brackets. So we want to make sure the cage is big enough that the bracket will go down in between it. Now, of course, we're putting everything in while the concrete's wet, so it can be moved around. Just don't want to make anything, you know, too difficult. So that's what we're going to try to do today, is get all the cages made. We did have to order the sonotubes, or they're not actually sonotubes. Sonotube is a company. They are concrete pier forms, concrete tube forms. Anyways, we had to order them because we couldn't find any 12-inch tubes for sale anywhere. We found one, and we need a lot more than one, so we had to order some, and they won't be in until next week. So we have time now to try to get these cages built while we wait for the forms. We also picked up all the treated 2x6s we need to make the posts. So here are 64 2x6s. They are pressure treated. We only needed 54, but we just bought the whole bundle because we're going to need them for girts anyways, so they're going to get used. But we needed 54 to build the posts, and we will work on building posts after we've got the concrete cages made. Then we'll work on posts after that. But for now, we're going to figure out how to bend the rebar. I looked online for a rebar bender. Nobody has one in stock, so we're going to see what we can come up with to bend it. All right, I have an idea. Instead of bending the rebar into circles, which I don't think the horizontal circles to hold the rebar has to do with strength. I think it's just to hold your rebar where you need it. But I could be wrong. But what if we take this fencing and we make a circle out of the fencing, because it bends a lot easier, and then we could just wire the rebar to the fencing. So if you could bend it into a circle, like an 8-inch circle, we want 8 inches. So a circle or square, it doesn't matter. So if we could make this into a square, an 8-inch square, then we could tie the rebar to this. We could put like one on the bottom and then one closer to the top. I mean, it's a wire that we put in my shop floor. I don't see why it wouldn't be strong enough to do what we're doing. Okay, so that's the idea. And then let's grab some rebar pieces and see how we can tie it on there. We're probably going to need one of these cages for top and bottom of the rebar pieces for the really long ones. Eddie is wearing these Andanda cut resistant gloves to use the cutoff wheel with the Metabo. So the reason he's wearing the cut resistant gloves from Andanda is that the last time he was using the Metabo, he wasn't wearing cut resistant gloves, and he sliced his hand right here, got 7 stitches. And he knew that day he should be wearing his gloves, but why did you say you didn't?
That's one of them, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. Stupidity, in other words.
I did forget to put the link to Andanda in the description on the last video. I will try to put it in this one, but either way, you can always go to Amazon, just type in Andanda. It's A-N-D-A-N-D-A. A-N-D-A-N-D-A, Andanda. So you can always look that up. They do have a lot of gloves, a lot of boots. Oh, I'll show you the boots that I'm wearing from them. So these are the boots that I'm wearing from Andanda. They are a steel toe. As you can see, I've been wearing them for a few days. They're quite dirty. Very, very comfortable. They are a high top. And I love them. They are comfortable. I don't know that I need a steel toe, but why not? They're comfortable. Don't have to worry about Eddie running over my toes with the lawnmower. But yeah, they are really, really comfortable, and they're not expensive. I did look them up and they're not expensive. So if I was gonna buy a pair of boots, I would look into buying some of these. I mean, they're cheaper than a lot of boots I can get at Walmart. So we'll see how long they last. I go through shoes really, really fast, but they are comfortable. All right, we need 4 pieces of rebar that are 5 feet long for the first hole. Okay, we should still have some of those concrete ties here. We've got a bunch of them. And we should have this right here.
Is that going, is it going in the hole like this?
No, goes the other way.
Flat side down?
Yeah, it can't touch the ground. It has to be 2 inches above the dirt. So it has to go like this so that we can set it on chairs inside the hole. Or rocks if, you know, Alabama has rocks. Right?
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
We don't have any rocks here, so.
I can't hook both ends for some reason.
Okay, you probably can't see that very well, but we have our first cage built. We're gonna go try it in the hole and see how it looks. Chairs on the bottom of it before you lower it into the hole.
What's going to hold the chairs on it?
Well, I was hoping I was going to be able to hook them right to that rebar. Okay, now see if you can lower it in there without the chairs falling off. Nope, there goes 2 of them. Alright, so I wonder if we should like buy a bag of rocks, because I can't even reach down there to get those chairs out. Okay, so there is our first concrete rebar cage. It extends up to a couple of inches below the string because the sonotube will be right at the bottom of the string, and you want to keep your rebar a minimum of 2 inches away from all edges, away from the top and away from the bottom, so that you don't introduce moisture, which will cause the rebar to rust up through your concrete. So now we just have to build a whole bunch more of those and get them placed in the holes. So I'll see you when we get it all done, or if we run into any problems, I will let you know.
What? I need a reminder?
Okay, so we're cutting rebar for the cages, and I know you guys noticed that he only had 1 glove on. Well, when the blade broke, it nicked his finger. He's fine, not even any blood, but I asked him, why are you only wearing 1 glove? And let him tell you what his answer was.
I don't have an answer. I forgot.
Honey, look at me. Why are you only wearing 1 glove?
Because I forgot.
You forgot that 1 hand was uncovered?
Yeah.
So he is gonna put the other glove on. It's a new day, so you know, he has to be reminded daily to put 2 gloves on because he has 2 hands that he would like to keep in one piece.
Found my other glove, that's why I didn't put it on. I couldn't find it. That's what I found it, so I put it on.
You couldn't find your glove?
Yeah. It was hidden over there on the bench.
It was hidden on the bench. It was hidden in plain sight, right?
Exactly. Sure it's going to take 2?
Oh yeah. Perfect. You want to pull the truck up to the next hole?
Can. I was just going to walk with that one. Move the truck, no. You want to level that one out? Well, I put this one on.
All right, everyone, we got all the rebar cages made on the piers that we're putting them on the piers that are only up out of the ground by like a foot. We're just going to put rebar in them. I don't think we actually need the full cage. So these holes, we've got the rebar cut and just laying on the ground next to the holes, so we remember to put them in. And on the holes that are only 6 inches out of the ground, they're not getting rebar at all because I don't think the concrete can go anywhere because it's in the ground. So I could be making a mistake, but from what I understand, when your pier is 99% in the ground, then okay, 90%, then you don't need rebar. Anyways, we bought some gravel to put in the bottom of the holes, and that is to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to help with drainage so that the concrete piers are not sitting in water. Also, I couldn't get the chairs to stay on the bottom of the cages. We don't have any rocks in Alabama, so I didn't have any way to hold the cages up off the dirt. So we're putting 3 inches of gravel in the bottom of all of the holes. And that, like I said, that's going to be for drainage and to hold the cages up off the dirt. Tomorrow, our sonotubes are supposed to come in. I don't know what time. We'll have to go pick them up when we get the phone call. But I also have somebody coming tomorrow to till an area for my sweet potatoes. So we're not going to get anything done tomorrow. But we're not rushing this project. We have to take our time, make sure we're thinking through every step and making as few mistakes as possible. So you guys have plenty of time to let me know if you have different thoughts. But yeah, so all the cages are done and we're moving on to the next step, which will be sonotubes. And I will see you when that video gets made.